So this is the last part that we are going to be working on today, which is what if you know the difference in arrival times. So yesterday we looked at seismograms and we were able to determine when the P and S wave arrived, and then from that we even took it a step further and said what was the difference in their arrival times. One of them we found to be 9 minutes, one was 7 minutes, and so on. But in this case, we're going to work with 4 minutes, 6 minutes, and 8 minutes and 20 seconds. That means that the P wave got there, and 4 minutes later, the S wave got there. In this case, the P wave arrived at the seismic station, and 6 minutes later, the S wave did. And I think you get the hang of where we're going with that. This arrival time difference is different than what we were working with up here. We were talking about travel time. We were talking about how long it took the waves to travel a certain distance. This is different time. This is the difference in their arrivals. So this is what I would like you to do. So if you would, grab a sticky note from the teacher. They'll be walking around with a sticky note. If not, grab a scrap piece of paper. And you're going to need this and your reference table. And I will show you how to determine the distance from the epicenter when you know the difference in arrival time is 4 minutes. So you come over to here, and so when we were talking about this before, our distance and our time, we were using these lines to help us determine the travel time and the epicenter distance. But you may not have realized that this space in between here is the difference in arrival times. So that whole area in here is representing the difference in arrival times. So we need to figure out where in between here is there a 4-minute difference between the P wave and the S wave. And the best way to do this is to grab your straight edge and your sticky note and place it on the vertical axis. So you lay it along here, and you want to mark off the 0. Don't forget to do that. And 4 minutes. So I'd like you to take your sticky note, lay it along the vertical axis, and mark off 0 and 4 minutes. All right, once you've done that, and if you need to stop the video and have everyone catch up, no problem. So once you've done that, now we want to figure out where in here is there a 4-minute difference. And so you have to make sure that this stays on the P wave line, and straight vertically up from that, this little dash is on your S wave line. And so if I do that, you'll see here, if I keep it here on this one and straight up and down, you can see my S wave line is way far away. So I'm going to have to gently move this up until I think I get a place where I can stop. Okay, that looks okay, maybe kind of good. But I'm going to run up to one more box, and that looks even better. So keeping my paper vertical, and use the lines for the 200-kilometer lines to help you keep your paper straight up and down. Now if you have a sticky note, it'll stay there for you, and that's kind of nice. So from here, all you need to do is look down, look straight, use the straight edge, go straight down, and you see, well, how far are we from the epicenter? Well, this is 2,200, 400, 600, so we are 2,600 kilometers away from the epicenter. So if there's a difference in arrival time of 4 minutes, the P wave gets there, 4 minutes later the S wave, you are 2,600 kilometers away from the epicenter. So come back over to our page. We want to write 2,600 kilometers. The next part is, well, what's the travel time of the S wave and the P wave? Well, that's exactly like we did up above when we had the distance and we were trying to find the travel times of both of those. Now that we know the distance, which we have here, we can use the graph like we did earlier. So if you keep your sticky note here, which is great, you can just look directly over. And if I do that, I'll see 5 minutes here. And if I look up here, I come over and I see 9 minutes. So this one, 9 and 5. What is the difference? Hopefully 4 minutes, because that's our little quick check to make sure that we did this correctly. So that is how you would find the distance to the epicenter if you only knew the difference in arrival times. So I'm going to come over here. Let's fill in our data. We had 9 minutes and we had 5 minutes. I didn't use the form that we used earlier, but I'm going to remember my units so that way I'm okay. So I would like you to stop the video and do 6 minutes and 8 minutes and 20 seconds, the same way that we just did. And if you need to rewind and watch again at any time, make sure you do that. And then from here you're going to go into Schoology and get your homework, which is practicing all of these skills that we just did. And so that's how we're going to be finishing class. Tomorrow I'll be checking in to see how you guys did. I'll have a ticket in for you, and hopefully everyone will be successful and be able to use their reference table, page 11. And hopefully you're all good today.